Hello and welcome back to our Let's Play of Alice Spiritual Judge. My name is Shokora Zouheikyoku and welcome back to our next chapter, Chapter 2. On the previous chapter, we have just finished mapping out your situation by a prologue that our protagonist is lacking some memories. There was a murder of the white rabbit and the gymnasium has turned into a court. So let's continue. Spiritual judge. I never heard about it. And this place should be a gymnasium. What is going on? I am so confused by the situation now that I tried to talk to the court soldier. Hey, this is gymnasium, right? What exactly is spiritual judge? What are you talking about? It is literally what it means. Even if you say so. Be quiet. Refrain from talking. The lady on the stage warns us by hitting the wooden hammer. Be careful! We must obey what Judge Red King said. The court soldier lowered the voice and said, Alright. So the lady on the stage is Red King. Even though she is a female, she is not a queen. She has the absolute right over this place, so she is judge. Very well. Professor the Hatter, you may start your opening statement. Once Red King urges, one singular dressed man with a hat comes out from the left-hand side. Is he Prosecutor the Hatter? Prosecutor... wait, wrong voice. Prosecutor the Hatter bounds pompously and starts his opening statement. Yes, the Red King. Well, Just now, White Rabbit, who belongs to 2nd grade, class 3, was found dead in visual audio room on the 2nd floor of East Schoolhouse in the school. The cause of death is the thrust on the neck. The person who discovered the body was, well, the person in front of you. The first person to find the body is Defendant, Queen of Hearts. The summation of the case is as I mentioned above. Understood. We can quickly confirm that the first person to find the body, Queen of Hearts, has murdered White Rabbit. Very well, it is very reasonable to assume the first person to find a body is the murderer. Exactly, Your Highness. In this case, I declare Defendant, Queen of Hearts, to be executed as beheaded. What? Wait a minute! I cannot help standing up while shouting out loud. What is your problem? Red King inquires calmly. Do you not find it strange? About what? This is a courtroom, right? Yes, that is right. If so, doesn't the situation now seem strange to you? Even though I am not familiar with the courtroom. I believe you need the evidence, the opinions of defendant, or a lawyer. You cannot execute upon such a ridiculous theory. Well, you are not familiar with the rules of this courthouse. Rules? First, we execute. Then the ruling comes later. How stupid it is! How could you execute first? I never heard of execute first before. The ruling? Wait, wrong tone. Okay. I never heard of execute first before the ruling. That is right. I am not the one who killed White Rabbit. A dignified voice is heard inside the courthouse. It is Defendant, Queen of Hearts. I can see her out of the corner of my eye. I have told you many times, I didn't do it. Well, this is my first time to hear it. Prosecutor the Hatter tilts his head and says pleasantly, There is no question whatsoever, and I was taken here by force. When did I have the chance to make any statement? You are the murderer, right? Is there any need to question you? I didn't kill White Rabbit. The atmosphere at the courthouse becomes nervous. It seems no side would give up holding the grounds. While Queen of Hearts denies killing White Rabbit, you cannot judge without any evidence. It is not correct. Correct? Red King asked wonderingly. Correct. Well, you are asking us to do things correct? I cannot believe it. What kind of judge is this? Can the chief judge rule justly if she keeps doing things like this? Of course, you need to know what is going on about the investigation of the prosecution, the statement of defendant, and the witness. If you cannot rule properly, surely you cannot call it a rightful judge. It is not possible to achieve things you are talking about. Prosecutor the Hatter interrupts with a smile. As you said, to convince as many people as possible, we need enough evidence, spend time and money. People who are not concerned will deliver the final judgment. Well, how inefficient is this? I am quite angry with the way he puts it. Judge should not concern things such as efficiency. Well, my bad. This is human being. My apologies. What kind of prosecutor is he? Is he playing me? However, sometimes it is good to enjoy this inefficiency. Well, what is your name? Alice Kanzaki. Okay, Miss Alice Kanzaki. If you say so, why don't you take the role as defense lawyer? What? I shrink back without further thinking. Since I stand up, everyone's attention is on me. I suddenly feel embarrassed and want to take back what I have said and done. What will happen if I said, Nothing, just ignore me, and sit down? Why I am entranced by this surprisingly proposal, and Red King on the stage begins to talk. It is actually a good idea, the hatter. I hear announce Alice Kanzaki, a defense lawyer of Twin Apart. Wait. Right now. Yes, Your Highness. As the king orders me, I cannot help to consent to what I actually don't want to do. It is true that no one can disobey Red King. Wow, this is very awkward because we're in trouble. Like, I know you meant well, Alice, but I guess trying to help someone else brings bad things to us instead. Ugh. Well, I don't know how they work at the courthouse. Since they are in a mess already, I might as well do as I like. That's true. But what should I say first? Okay, Miss, steadily jumping in, defense lawyer. Should I explain the situation one more time? Oh wow, very snarky, Mr. Hatter. Please. We have just found the body at White Rabbit, and the place was audio visual room at East Schoolhouse, on the second floor. Cause of death is an edge tore cut into the neck, which led to a shock death, or excessive bleeding which led to death. The first person found the body was cleaned apart. This is all. See? The murderer is Queen Apart, right? There are too many loopholes that I hesitate to choose which to attack. Okay, let's start asking questions. About the time of the discovery. Could you specify the time? It is too vague not to point it out. Could you let me know the exact time? You should confirm with the first person who found the body. What? As if this is not your business. Have you seen a worse prosecutor? Queen of Hearts, when did you find the body at Special Audio Room? 1820. After I discovered the body, I rushed to report. The resumed time of White Rabbit's death is after the assembly of the day. The victim was witnessed in the classroom at 1610. A lot of students can provide the testimony. In other words, during the time of 1610 and 1820, it is roughly when White Rabbit was murdered. Now I know the presumed time of death. The estimated time of death. The resumed time of the victim's death is 1610 to 1820. About the knife. When you mentioned the weapon as an edged tool, what exactly is that? It was a knife. A knife. Does it belong to White Rabbit or anyone else? I cannot believe they didn't investigate this. We don't know to whom this exactly belongs to. It is a normal knife that you can buy anywhere. I see. At least they have done their best to investigate this. Now I know the information of the weapon, the knife. The knife used to commit crime. The knife used to commit crime. It is an ordinary knife without any fingerprints on it. Oh, that's interesting. That means that the killer is wearing gloves at the time. By the way, we cannot find any fingerprints on the weapon. The knife. Wow, this sounds like a statement in a suspense drama. Feels great. Okay, Mr. Hatter. He's kind of funny, in a sense. Yeah, I guess the person not relating to the case has the right to be so casual and calm and have a chance to joke around too. But then this is the Hatter, so personality, I guess. Don't joke around. About the situation when discovered the body. Why did cleanup hurt? Go to audio visual room. Cleanup hurts. I don't want to tell you. What? I told you I don't want to tell you. What? See, this is the same as saying I am the murderer, right? Well, it is indeed very strange, but we cannot be sure that she is the murderer. But this also means that cause problems for the Queen of Hearts in that withholding the information about the crime is very, very dangerous in a sense. But yeah, we cannot be sure she is the murderer, but we cannot be sure that she is not the murderer in a sense. Yeah. Well. As the saying goes, guilty until proven innocent. It fits the situation. That phrase was very strange. The contrary. It should be innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, that should be the correct phrase. At the end, we are not able to know why Queen of Hearts went to audio visual room. About the scene. What kind of situation was audio visual room? What do you mean? Whether anyone can go in there, or was there any evidence of intrusion, etc.? More specific explanations of the scene. Well, why don't you look at this first? Get a photo of the scene. The photo of a crime scene. The scene photograph of the audio visual room. Can I watch? No, I cannot. Read the report. Okay. This is White Rabbit. Also, I noticed there's a bag over there that looks really familiar to our bag, but I'm unsure whether if anyone have the same kind of bag, like whether is it a uniform bag or is a personal style bag and so on and so forth. So yeah. Yes, this is the scene photo of audio visual room. Now I realized there is actually someone there when looking at the photo, and I can feel my face turn pale. The photo depicts the visible scene quite vividly. But there's a good question: is that the bag, like, give the situation that is all bag, how did it return to the classroom and not stuck in the audio visual? innocent. Did I scare you? This is the reality. You need to face it. Was audio-visual room open? Well, the key to audio-visual room is managed by the staff. It is not available to students, if not for lessons or cleaning. Under regular conditions. Under regular conditions? Right. The scene is quite peculiar. We discovered the spare key. The unofficial one. The spare key. By the way, there are fingerprints on the spare keys. But and as long as we have all the fingerprints from all the students and staff, we will soon find out whose fingerprints they are, right? That is indeed true. By the way, the fingerprints are not of the victims. Now I have the information of the spare key. Spare key. The spare key to audio-visual room at East Tung House. There are fingerprints on it, but they have not been recognized yet. If the fingerprints are not cleaned apart, could we deduct that the murderer is someone else? Well, maybe. Then, let us talk about this later. First, let's conclude the whole case. Alright. Very good. From what we have discussed so far, have you found out anything? Or do you purposely refrain from talking about it? What? There are numerous causes for a human death. Illness, accidents, murder, and there is one more, do you know? Do you mean suicide? Yes, this is probably the most efficient way to conclude this case. If the first person to find the body, Queen of Hearts, didn't do it, White Rabbit probably killed herself. Do you not think so? I'll say she did not kill herself in a sense, because first is that so earlier I noticed, I cannot read the record, but the knife doesn't have any fingerprints, which means someone wiped it off and or wear gloves during their killing. But if we were to say White Rabbit killed herself, then there should be fingerprints of the victim over there. As I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but the White Rabbit's hand is no gloves, just bare hands. So that means she should leave fingerprints. So she did not kill herself? I don't think she killed herself. Really? Why don't you show us the evidence? So, the thing is, I don't know which to choose in a sense. So you can see here, this is a spare hand, a bare hand. So that means there should be fingerprints. But I don't know which to choose from. Like, is it a knife or is it the knife or is it their picture? Well, how can you tell from the photo that it is not a suicide case? Please be specific. So I'll say this part. Can I choose another part? Nope. So I guess the good thing is that I won't have any wrong from this. So here. Please see the hands of the victim, White Rabbit. Well, what is the problem? They look quite normal. Yes, they are very normal hands without wearing anything. And please recall the weapon just now. Weapon? Well. I see. It is about the fingerprints on the knife, right? I'll say, aside from their being snarky and sarcastic and trying to joke about the situation, I'll say the hatter is very, very smart in a sense. But he's not very serious about everything. Yes, there is no fingerprints on the weapon, on the knife. Am I right? If it is a suicide case, it seems quite strange. If White Rabbit didn't wear anything on the scene, there should be fingerprints on the knife. It is a reasonable statement. So she didn't kill herself. Yes, she didn't kill herself, and anyone could have held the weapon, since we don't know who owned the spare key. In this condition, we cannot assert that Queen of Hearts is the murderer. I see. Maybe we cannot assert it. Then, unfortunately, but let me tell you one interesting information. I have a feeling this guy just wants to put our information to bait us, and then make us suffer just for fun. This guy. What? I have a bad feeling. When we questioned the students about this case, there were numerous of students testified that Queen of Hearts has been bullying White Rabbit. What? So why don't we try to combine your statement with this story? White Rabbit had been bullied by Queen of Hearts. White Rabbit had been suffered so much that eventually she tried to kill Queen of Hearts. White Rabbit had asked Queen of Hearts to meet at audio-visual room, but of course Queen of Hearts has fought for her life. She grabbed the knife and thrust into White Rabbit's throat. Stop this nonsense, the Hatter! It is Queen of Hearts, quite powerful and desperate. Well, I am quite terrified. Well, this is only my imagination, but how does it sound? Well, this one is a bit confusing in a sense because I'm unsure what it means. I'll say I am not wrong. I see. This is the truth. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, right, it matches everything. But Alice, aren't you a defense lawyer? Ooh, my bad. but I can actually imagine Queen of Hearts swung the knife. This is like a gag choice in a sense. Can we redo it? You are talking nonsense, just like them. I am sorry. You are easily influenced, Alice. Let me ask you one more time. What do you think of my statement? So it's not like all statements are wrong, but it's like the Mad Hatter statement. So it should be instead of like I am not wrong, this is he is not wrong or he's wrong, something like that. So the translation is a bit off. I have a feeling that the translator is not completely I don't know, completely read the story, or it's like they didn't pay attention enough. This hypothesis is wrong. Well, you deny it again. Let me know your reason then. According to the hypothesis, it is impossible to conclude Queen of Hearts to be the murderer. For if she killed the victim, as you described just now, and touched the knife, there should be fingerprints left on it. There is, of course, possibility of her wife edema. If so, don't you think thrusting the edge tool into one's neck will inevitably have you stained with the blood of the victim? Well, I won't be so sure. If you thrust into the clothes, maybe not thrusting into the neck, it is indeed hard not to have blood stand on your own clothes. If Queen of Hearts had any intention to kill the victim, she might have repaired another clothes to wear to change. But your resumption is upon White Rabbit trying to kill Queen of Hearts. How could it be possible not to leave any evidence at the scene when she is not the one planning the murder? Well, there was also a possibility that she had been so lucky that there were no stains of blood on her. But indeed, it is not very possible. How about Queen of Hearts prepared for weapons and clothes to change? Then she asked White Rabbit to go to audio-visual room and killed her. Don't you think this is much more reasonable? As I already told you, this statement is not right. You cannot assert Queen of Hearts as the murderer only because she is the first one who found the body. You can almost declare anyone to be the murderer using this sort of logic. So Alice is angry right now, and this is quite dangerous in a sense. Since this, I have a feeling this may red flag. Okay, I give in, Miss Alice. I feel released and all the tensions drained from my shoulder. How much time do we need to spend just to let them understand the seemingly obvious common sense? If only they could understand. Once I feel relaxed, Prosecutor the Hatter smiles audaciously. Let us all agree that we cannot assert Queen of Hearts is the murderer. Then who is the true murderer? The real murderer. Exactly. It is not a suicide case. We cannot assert Queen of Hearts is the murderer. So who is the true murderer? Miss Alice, I have more interesting information. I have a very bad feeling again. If he said it is interesting information, it is definitely not interesting at all. Are you always with the victim, White Rabbit? Since you are so close to each other, there are certainly some excuses or reasons to kill her. Defendant Alice Kanzaki. Why am not surprised? I mean, she is lacking some information like knowledge and stuff. Her memory's been wiped some part. So yeah. Whoops. Oh boy. What? Also he changed very quickly from lawyer Alice Kanzaki now to defendant Alice Kanzaki. I am the defendant. I have actually said so. You are saying I am the murderer? You just said that anyone could be the victim, didn't you? In other words, there is also possibility for you to kill White Rabbit, Defendant Alice Kanzaki. Ridiculous! For those reasons, you treat me as a defendant. You are being too unreasonable. Could you prove your innocence in this court? Nope, not right now at least. She is her memory's been wiped, so she needs to learn more information in order to prove herself. Let me ask, defendant, what have you done during the 1610 to 1820 on the 14th of May? In other words, please provide the evidence for proof you did not kill White Rabbit. I say no, not right now. I cannot prove my innocence. I cannot answer. Because I don't remember anything. Why was I alone in the classroom? What was I doing there? And why did I get into this spiritual judge thing? I don't know. Are you not going to say anything? Not being able to provide any explanation would increase the possibility of you being the murderer. Can you not confirm what you have done and where you are? Ridiculous! I didn't do anything. I didn't kill anyone. Such a boring answer, Defendant Alice. Do you think this kind of statement mean anything here? Where is the cleverness you showed when you defend Queen of Hearts? I cannot recall anything. That is all. I didn't kill anyone. That is a good question. Is that if you cannot recall anything, there is a very high possibility that you kill anyone when you know it. And sometimes reason for amnesia, memory loss, is very dependent on the people. Some with memories wiped out purposely by someone else, or they do it themselves because of a shark or something of that kind. So we cannot certain that this is yeah, we cannot be certain in a sense. Then why don't we let Red King decide what to do? I look up to judge on the stage, Red King. I cannot see her due to the veil. What kind of expressions is she wearing now? Red King nods and starts to speak. Very well, Defendant Alice Kanzaki. Let me give you a craze. What? Investigate the case and prove your innocence. Innocence? I cannot judge what to do with you, according to the statement so far. So find out everything. Everything. I here announce to dismiss the first spiritual judge. I'll say my voice acting for the Red King is very inconsistent. So, this should be the end of chapter 2. Spiritual judge gets. And we have evolved from being a lawyer and going back to being a suspect and defendant in a murder. How lucky for us. Anyway, thank you for all for watching, and I'll see you guys next on the chapter 3 of Alice's spiritual journey. Bye bye.